Okay, this is my first attempt at building a Mash Tun cooler. I'm getting ready to install the ball valve drain bulkhead on this thing, and I've already removed the old drain valve on this cooler. You can see it right here. It was really easy to pop out. Just took a screwdriver and twisted it, and it basically unscrewed. You can see what the new hole is going to look like. It's already ready for a 3/4 inch 3/4 inch assembly to insert inside there. And then here I have the parts right here. I got the pipe thread, tape, and then I got a reducer. This is later going to attach onto the manifold. Then here's the ball valve itself. This is a nipple for joining the two together. It's about 1.5 inches long. I also had to hone out this brass washer on the drill press because I couldn't find one that would actually fit it at my hardware store, and so I did it on the drill press, and it was really a pain. So if you could find one that's already bored out to 3/4 of an inch, that would be good. Then I have a regular galvanized washer for the outside because that doesn't matter, it's not going to touch anything. And then the inside I got this neoprene washer which is going to seal it up. And that's it. I'm going to go ahead and assemble this, and then I'll be back with the what it looks like. Okay, so I've installed the bulkhead now. It took a little bit of work. The coupler I got wasn't actually long enough, so I didn't put the washer on the outside. But I was able to make it seal up. I kind of took a gamble there, not knowing for sure if I was going to be able to seal it up, so I wouldn't recommend doing that again. I'd recommend getting a longer nipple, at least 2 inches, for this size of cooler. But it's sealed up and it doesn't leak one drop. You can see on the inside there kinda that I got the neoprene washer and the adapter attached to the end, and then I'll hook up the manifold to that. You can see that it also have it straining just fine. Right into this bucket right now. Okay, so I've built this manifold. I haven't cut the holes in it yet, and I haven't set up the spout for it to drain, but basically what I did was measured the inside of the cooler, and I subtracted about 1 inch from each side, and then this thing's going to fit in there real nicely. You can check it out. I cut all my pieces on a bandsaw, but you could easily do this with a copper cutter. You can buy it for like $5 or $6, I think, at the hardware store. So there it is. This will line up right with that, right in the center, and then it'll get a spout coming up to it. Next, to drill the holes or cut the holes. Alright, I just wanted to make one note too. In case I build one identical to this in the future, each long piece is 14 inches long, and then each little piece that goes in between the fittings is 1 3/16 inches long, and it worked out perfectly. One handy little tip, I just went ahead and took a couple clamps and I clamped a board down on top of my pieces of copper so that I could evenly mark out each piece of copper and give some uniformity to my cuts. I went ahead and marked these out about 1/2 inch apart as per the instructions that I found online from Brewer's Friend. I think it's brewersfriend.com. Okay, so I've cut all my holes in the manifold's pipe, and I found a little trick because there's so many burrs on the inside when you cut this. I went ahead and I took an old cord and I cut off the end, and then I frayed it. It's a pretty heavy gauge cord. I don't know if it's not focusing there. There we go. And anyways, I would ram this through the inside of the pipe and clean out all the burrs that way. Otherwise, there'd be little pieces of copper floating around. Okay, here's my beautiful kids, Grace and Justice. They're out here helping me now, helping me put together the Mash Tun cooler. Okay, so I got it all assembled. It was pretty pretty simple. I mean, I have a lot of tools here in my shop, but you know, the finished product looks pretty good, and I think it'll work good. Of course, we won't know until we actually try it out, but fills up the whole entire cooler, so looking forward to giving it a try as soon as I can. Okay, Grace, go ahead and open up the valve. And this is it working with the manifold in place. Go ahead and open it up all the way, Grace. Okay, yeah, so it's pouring out just fine. And there it is with the water. Now you notice I didn't solder anything together. This is so that we can take everything apart and clean it really well after each batch. I still have yet, I need to Scotch guard everything and get it all really clean and sanitized before we can, you know, make a batch with it. But there it is. It's finished thing. Finished Mash Tun cooler.